For this week's discussion for Module 2, I chose this meme. Um, I think that it, as an example of communication and activism and advocacy, I think that I'm going to talk about the types of power that these men had and connect it to the dominant group theory. So, for starters, most of you know that Charlie Kirk was killed last week at a rally. Um, this meme was posted on Facebook, so it came up in my thread. It was posted by a childhood friend of mine, so someone that I've known for a long time, but I haven't been in her life in many, many years, and we have become very different. So this meme represents, Charlie Kirk is in case you don't know, is the white guy on the far right, and then we have JFK, um, and Martin Luther King. All three were killed by bullets. Um, and I would say that in the analysis of social issues and public policy, Bertrand Raven discusses the six bases of power. And I think all three of these men had reverent power. They were likable. And but I would also add that JFK as the president had some legitimate power, and even Martin Luther King Jr. as the leader, he had probably responsibilities that people looked to him for. And Charlie Kirk, I believe, wanted to have expert power. I think he wanted to be the expert on things, but all of them had referent power. In the analysis of social issues and public policy by Bertram Rossum, it states that if we identify with someone, either a group or individual, and see them as a model, it gives us satisfaction to behave or believe as they do. That is what they called referent power. So if we acknowledge that each of these gentlemen had referent power, and then we consider the comparison that this meme does when it includes Charlie Kirk in a meme with Martin Luther King, who was killed for civil rights, and JFK, who was a leader in civil rights. We know he was assassinated. I don't know if we ever got the full story. But both the gentlemen on the left were clearly, they used their power to further anti-racism and civil rights. And Charlie Kirk it is the complete opposite. And so in the Rosante and Orb article from Communication Theory, they talked about non-assertive reinforcement and aggressive reinforcement. And I would say that, okay, so let me back up for a minute. The goal of this meme is really to make people believe that Charlie Kirk is the same type of person as JFK and Martin Luther King. Its goal is to change the narrative, really. And um I think it is successful because, like, my friend, I don't think she even realizes that when she posts this, she is completely disregarding the very real work that people did for civil rights. And I would say, so there was a lack of awareness. So that's the non-assertive reinforcement. And then I didn't respond to this meme. It hit me hard. But um, I just, it wasn't, I couldn't speak out about it. Like, I'm not going to argue with her. And so in that way, I also am complicit in non-assertive reinforcement. But the meme itself is a form of aggressive reinforcement because it attempts. So this is aggressive reinforcement because it really is trying to rationalize Charlie Kirk. It's trying to convince everyone that he is in the same league, that it's rewriting history. In the article by Rosante and Orb, it talks about that the communicative messages that rationalize, support, or endorse existing ideologies, values, and oppressive institutions. And really what this does is the dominant group can post this picture and give the impression that this man that was assassinated on a college campus, shot with bullets, his message was just as important as the messages of Martin Luther King and John JFK. And if we go back to the idea that they have referent power, and that referent power is people have that, if when we identify with someone, either a group or an individual, and see them as a model, and it gives us satisfaction to behave or believe as they do, it's like this cycle. Because my friend who posted this, who has really limited comprehension of how she is promoting the racism in the dominant group. But she does identify with Charlie Kirk because she thinks of herself as a Christian and she believes in merit, right? And when they give us just these partial, they're only giving us pieces. And then we have these social networks that really are, we're only identifying with these pieces, but then we're emulating without the full story. I just thought that this meme was so powerful, and I hope that I've explained what I mean well. I've tried to do this a few times. I think that it's very clearly an attempt to normalize racism. And that is what dominant group theory does or talks about. Thank you.